Alright, so this is the basic setup of the game. I have my player board all set up here with level 1 on everything. Character level 1, spell tier, melee tier. Max attacks is 3. Store cards, I can store 1 at a time. That's down here. Max health, starting defense. Here's our rest actions. And so I start with a 1 defense and 6 health points. Enemies are at 1 and experience is at 0. So the setup of this game is actually pretty easy. Enemies come in 4 different levels. You literally just shuffle level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4 individually and then stack them on top of each other. Scenario cards go in order. The boss go in order. Then you're going to set out the blind cards, your special action, your skill, and your event. You're going to take your entire action deck here and shuffle it, and you're going to lay out 6, and this is your hand. You're not actually holding it in your hand. And then last but not least, here's your map. So you start off, you got your little token here, and each token, you kind of randomly place them. It doesn't give you a bag. You can use a bag, you can use a box, you can just shuffle them on the table, it doesn't matter, but it keeps it kind of randomized. The idea is you can pick any one of these top ones to start with, and then from there you have to move down or horizontally. You cannot move back. And each one of these has symbols on them. For example, this right here, this is 3 events. So I would draw from the event deck. This one here has the Clash Swords, so I would draw from the enemy deck up here. And then, once I resolve that, I would resolve an event. The Fire is, of course, a rest action. That one's actually looks pretty nice. And you're going to keep working your way on down here until you get to the boss. Draw the next in order boss card. So we got our extra tokens and dice over here. Ignore my mouse. I do want to show you. We use some of the because there will be tokens left over. So, like for example, this token here. To resolve this, I would fight, and then I would resolve 2 events. Okay, cool. Once I resolve it, I can flip, and there is a side quest, and I can choose to claim that. And if I do, I would come down here. And I would put that there until I beat it, and then, haha, yeah, I killed 2 enemies. Ooh, I get 4 experience. So, that is the setup of the game. Super easy to set up. The rules in the game, not sure how I feel about that, because at no point do they actually step-by-step you through the game. The biggest problem I have is when you're in the actual rule book, instead of saying, here's how to play the game, instead what it does is it gives you gameplay example. So we decide to play descent mode. And it gives you an example, which is, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a pretty good way of learning. But I would rather this be the secondary example. Like, okay, cool. Show me the rules, then show me how they go into play. But I think we are ready to go. We are ready to play. Fair warning, there will be spoilers in this because I've decided I'm going to go through the scenario. I don't know how far I'm going to go in this game for this video, but I think we'll have some fun. So, my first step is going to be resolving the scenario. The Awakening. You awake in inky blackness, head throbbing. As you slowly rise to your feet, questions flood your mind. Where am I? How did I get here? Who am I? You stumble over a small object, a torch. You pick it up and draw on some innate knowledge to light it. Disturbingly, the light reveals a blue-caped body beside you. Who is this? You feel like you knew him. Down the nearest corridor, you see a distant faint light. If you're going to find answers, you'd best get moving. You check the surrounding area, picking up a handy pack filled with provisions and a strange, thin dagger. Lastly, you decide to grab your departed companion's possessions, his cloak and a book of spells, and head toward the glow. He won't need them anymore. Pick a starting path from the top of the map and resolve 2 adventure tokens. Once resolved, proceed to Chapter 2. Scenario 2. We're going to go ahead and put this over here. I have some choices. You know what? I'm going to go with this one here, because this one looks like a good mix of stuff. So we're going to bring this down here. And, all right, so my first 2... I'll show this to this camera here. I'm my first time using dual cameras. So this is event, and combat. So my first event. Woo! Weak doors. Defeat this obstacle in 1 turn to receive 1 experience. If failed, remove 1 health or experience to resolve this card. Okay. The one thing I did not look up is how to resolve an event. All right, these are treated as enemies. The player also increases obstacle-based health depending on current enemy level. Okay, so the obstacle health is 2. So the obstacle, for the example, this obstacle has 4 health on level 2. The player dealt 3 damage and needs to remove 1 draw deck card. Thankfully, this one doesn't ask me to get rid of any cards. Let's see. So, in combat, according to this, I can use max attacks of 3. So let's see, I have 2 cards here. They all have abilities. I'll show you the anatomy of a card here, if I can get it without glare. So there are tiers, and depending on my level is how much damage. So at tier 1, this does 1 damage. At tier 2, it does 1 damage. But at tier 3, it can do 2 damage. And melee weakness, increase the target's melee vulnerability by 1 if undefended. Okay, cool. Couple of these are 1, 2, and 3. And they all have different effects. Infuse. After using this card, increase the damage of cards with no ability by... I don't know what that symbol is. Until the end of your turn. Okay. Focus. If you attacked your target with another focus earlier, do 2 additional damage. I kind of dig that. And then these 2 are both double hit. This is the melee weakness as well. So I can play up to 3 cards, I believe. Let's start with an encounter combat. Okay, so yeah, I can use up to 3. I'm going to, and then I can keep 1. So I'm gonna use the double hit and the melee weakness. So actually, no, I don't need it. I can do this. So that's going to kill this obstacle. And it has a melee weakness of 1 and a spell weakness of 1. So, okay. So yeah. All right. I kill the weak door. Woo! We'll set event cards up here. So this is used. And so the turn is over, so we refill. Oh, and I wanted to keep 1, so I'm going to keep that focus, because that seemed kind of cool. All right, so the token has event number 2. Estimate the amount of enemy cards left to defeat for current level, then verify the number. If you estimated the exact number, receive 3 XP. Difference of up to 3 cards. Oh, hold on. What did I received an experience, so for the doors. All right, so if it's exact, 3 XP. Difference of up to 3 cards, 1 XP. None of the above. Continue your journey with no reward. Well, I know I haven't touched. I haven't looked at the games back. I mean, I know I have. I'm going to guess 15. I think there's, I don't know. What does that stack look like to you guys? 20. We're going to guess 20. Oh, shoot. Maybe there's more than that. I don't know how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I was right. All right, cool. So, exact number, I received 3 XP. Cool. Oh, I forgot to refresh that. All right, so the last thing that I have to do is fight an enemy. And we have the Parasitic Muncher. It has 4 hit points. It has first strike. The Parasitic Muncher does 1 extra damage during its first attack. And it is particularly weak against magic, but I have no magic. In here is a mix of magic and melee, but I haven't drawn any magic. That sucks. Fast and incredibly agile monsters of twisted nature. I don't know what that icon means. There's like a little, let's see if I can, it's like a little foot. So let's find out what that is. So the example actually does use the Parasitic Muncher. Let me decide, don't know if that's the, oh, that's flee. That's its flee. Okay. So we're not worried about it fleeing. Okay, so what the flee, or it's retreat, I'm sorry, not flee. You can pay cards or experience, I haven't gotten that far in the rulebook, to make it go away. So you're basically, this is how much it costs to escape it. That is really a neat looking critter though. I like that art. That's kind of cool. It's very, like, Lovecraftian horror. Anyway, so I have to do 4 damage to it, and I can play 3 cards. Well, I don't have any more of this focus cards, so... So, going by the combat example, the Parasitic Muncher, oh, this is a multiplier, not a, okay. So, like, as it says, the raised bow bearer. See, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this rulebook. Okay, so the 2, enemy damage and type. Okay, so these numbers, let me show you this here. So these numbers at the very top, these are the damage and type. But nowhere does it show me what the type is. So, okay. Oh, no, okay. So that's the... Oh, okay. It's the type is not this second thing. So it's either swords for melee or circle for magic. That's all. This is how many experience. I get 1 experience for killing it. 5 is retreat cost. Players are able to retreat from the encounter if each pays the cost next to the icon in draw deck cards. It can only be used on the player's turn. Okay, cool. So health is, of course, the green. This is its vulnerability. So it is standard. If it had a 0 there, it ignores all damage of that type. All right, cool. And then its special ability, the Parasitic Muncher deals 1 extra damage during its first attack. Okay, very cool, very cool. Is there anything we're forgetting? No, just the flavor text at the bottom, which I already covered. So I have to do 4 damage to kill this. Well, so what am I going to do? I can play up to 3 cards. Kind of wish I hadn't used that that other double card, but that's okay. So I'm going to definitely use the double hit. So there's 1. So 2, because it's a double hit. So I'm going to put 2 damage on him. And Corrosion. You may draw up to 3 blinded cards, which are awful, to deal an additional point of damage for each drawn card. Okay, that's cool, and I could see that being nice in a pinch, but not right now. All right, so my other 2, I'm going to use the... I don't know what this infuse is because I have not seen. It says increase the damage of cards with no ability, but I haven't seen any cards with no ability yet. So I'm going to use these 2 to do the final damage to it. So these can go back in the pool. And come on. All right. Parasitic Muncher is dead. So I gain 1 experience. Awesome. And I have resolved this. So side quest, gain 8 XP in an encounter, and my reward would be -3 blight. So blight is this track here, and I get the feeling blight is super, super bad because what it affects is how many enemy cards you draw. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that because that just sounds good, but you can only have 1 at a time. So blight, the higher you get on this track, here, actually, let me switch cameras so you can see. So blight is on this middle track here. And as you can see, it starts off with 1E. When you get up to here, you're drawing 2 enemies per combat encounter. And that goes for a while. Until you get up to start drawing 3. Now, keep in mind, you're going to be later in the game, so you might be through that whole level 1 enemy thing. You might be drawing like 3 level 2, 3 level 3s. As you get further up, 4. For every little exclamation point, cross swords, 4 enemies. Ouch. So yeah, we're not going to do that. So one thing that it is not clear. Okay, so that we're going to refill our hand here. Okay, good. I swear I have I'm like paranoid now ever since my Murmelnir unboxing, where I left my mic off. Ugh, I'm paranoid. Anyway, so the one thing that is not clear is what happens when we run out of cards. Okay, that's going to upgrade the tier, card type, but it doesn't say what to do when you run out. Enemy cards, skill cards, corruption, faith toss, blinded cards, combat to replenish your hand to 6 cards, player attacks by playing action cards. And yeah, I'm not seeing that icon in the infuse anywhere. I don't get that. Oh, I already screwed up. I should be storing cards. I'm going to pause this video for just a moment and I'm going to read some more of this because I'm a little bit confused. I will be right back. Okay, so I did confirm. It's just not very clearly worded in the book. So this is my action deck, and I put my hand. I don't want to keep it here though. I really don't. Like, that's so close to the edge of the table, and I don't. It's such a tall stack. At least it seems it. So this is it. This is all I get, and I'm storing these for future use. With every encounter, I get to store 1. Later, I can buy to store more because when this deck runs out, whatever's left here becomes my deck. After that, I'm hosed. Like, if you can't draw another card, game over. So, yikes. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on down here. So my next one is purely a combat, so I'm okay with that. Let's draw an enemy. And we got the raised bow bearer. That's from the combat example in the book. It is a zombie-looking archer. He has 5 hit points. He takes double damage from melee. That's pretty nice. When the raised bow bearer is defeated, make a faith toss, which is this die. If successful, raised restores 2 health points, usable once. All right, so he hits for 2 hit points. He does not have... So the player always goes first. So I've refilled my hand. Oh, there's the... Okay, there's the one. So I also figured out the infuse card. So let's see if it'll zoom in here enough to read that. I can't tell. But by this, so basically... So there are cards that have no ability, like this one. There's nothing there. Infuse would let me... I would play this card, and then I would increase the damage of this card by this much, depending on my tier. So, cool, but I didn't save that one. All right, so what do I want to do to the bow bearer? He has 5 hit points. And he's double weak to melee. So we're definitely going to use this one, because that's double damage. So that's 4 right there. Kapow. Ow. I get 2 more actions. There's an infuse here. I should have used that one. You know what? Because of the confusion of the game, I know this is cheating and some of you may call me out for it, but there's a lot of confusion here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to say the infuse does the 2 damage, and then this will do 2 times 2 is 4. So that would kill him. And then all this is a 6-sided die, but it's 3 faces with a check, 3 faces. So it's like flipping a coin. And he raises with 2 hit points. So we're going to leave 3. All right, so I've used those 2. I still have to use 1 more. I'm just going to use this melee weakness. Boom. And boom, are done. So that kills him. And he is worth 2 experience. So that's cool. 1, 2. Actually, I'm going to switch cameras here. So when I move up here, you'll see that there is this little hand icon, and that's where I'm ending up. Now you can only cross the hand icon once, but when you do, you get to go up here and draw a skill card. These are one-time use bonuses, so what did I get? Misdirect, and it's spelled wrong. Spend an amount of draw deck cards equal to the retreat value of an enemy to discard it from the encounter without awarding any experience. Ooh. Oh, okay. So we put that here under all single-use owned skills. All right, so the raised bow bearer is defeated, and we have cleared now 2 tokens. What was the... Oh. There is no side quest on this one. Interesting. Where am I putting my... Oh, I guess I don't have a discard. We'll just chuck those back in the box. All right, so I have cleared my 2nd adventure token. So we're on to scenario number 2. Calling from beyond. What is this place? You murmur, your voice breaking the silence. You've encountered a few things you wish you hadn't, but you're still in one piece. You finally reach the source of the light. A purple crystal is embedded in the wall of this chamber, emanating a soft, warm glow. Mesmerized, you reach out and touch its surface, only for piercing pain to shoot through your body. You reel back, clutching your limb, and you hear a disembodied voice. Finally. Moving on, you approach a crossroads. The voice can be heard again. Come, you, now. Which path will you choose? Move on to another adventure token and resolve it. Once resolved, proceed to scenario number 3. Well, so I have 2 choices right now. Well, technically 3. And I gotta be honest, it would not really suck for me to move sideways because I'm at 6 experience right now, and I could move on to this one, which, yeah, I would have to do an event and a combat, but then I could rest and spend my experience points, and that would be pretty swanky. On the other hand, I could keep going further. I could either, because if I go to this one, I don't want to go to this one, because then I would have to go here, and I can't go back. So really, my best choices of action are going to be to go here, or they're going to go here. And I think moving forward is going to be the best. All right, so I think my best bet is definitely going to be to move to this one. So this one is combat. All right, so let's fight. So our enemy is another Parasitic Muncher. Okay. All right, so let me refill. Oh, I forgot to save a card last time. I'm going to save. I really liked this one. Bash. Spend up to 4 defense points to deal an equal amount of damage to a single target. Now, I only have 1 defense right now, but going forward, that could be handy. So we're going to refill our deck here. All right, see, we got some magic now. This is good. This is good. So 4 damage. These guys are piddly. Interesting. This says for every combination triggered this turn, store 1 additional card. What is a combination, though? Nothing has hurt me yet. Ooh, I like this one. Finishing move. When this card defeats an enemy, gain health and experience up to max. Okay, that's pretty handy. I think I'm actually going to save that. Ooh, this one's heavy. Okay, so ooh, that one's cool. So that attacks multiple enemies. Oh, this one sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. It has an ability. Decrease one of your vulnerabilities by 1. But it does no damage at tier 1. Oh, I kind of wanted to... Oh, okay. So spell tier and melee tier are very different. Ooh, and it costs a lot. 14 experience. Ouch. Okay, well... We'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah, I think I'm going to save that one. I'm going to use the 2 that has no powers. Boom and boom. And I don't want it to hit me. I want to kill it before, but I'm afraid to use... All right, I'm gonna go ballsy just so you guys can watch it in action. So corrosion would only do 1 damage, but I may draw up to 3 blinded cards, and those go directly into my hand and cannot be gotten rid of without using them. It's a dead card. So I can do an additional point of damage just for, its and giggles. So I'm going to draw 1 into the hand. Oops. And do 2 damage, which kills this. We'll put that in there. That gains me 1 experience. And so now we're going to go to scenario number 3. Oh, I got to refill the... I'm going to save the finishing move and then refill. I like that. Okay, scenario number 3. Following the path. As you continue along the path, you decide that this place makes very little sense. Your ponderings are suddenly interrupted as an arrow whizzes through the air, skidding off your light armor. You dodge behind a pillar as a second arrow nearly misses your face by an inch, before deciding to continue running forward toward unseen horrors as you contemplate how to best deal with your stalker. Pick another adventure token and resolve it. Okay. You get the feeling that you're being followed. To blindly throw a dagger, scenario 4A. Hide and wait for them to pass, then attack 4B. So first, I'm going to resolve... I'm digging gaining experience, so we're going to go here. Oop, this one can go back in the box. Alright, so this one is fireside, and then combat, and then an event. So the fireside, when I rest, I can heal my wounds. I don't have any wounds. I'm safe right now. I can increase one of my immunities, okay, so decrease melee or spell vulnerability by 1 to a minimum of 1. Okay. I can buy an action card. Oh. Okay, so what that means is at the cost of 1 experience, I can take my used removed cards, and it says shuffle 3, and then draw 1. So, but I don't want that. Not yet. I'm doing okay, but once I realize that this deck has to last the campaign, I'm like, oh boy. Okay. So what do I want to do? I want to... So I can spend my experience points. I have 6 points. Do I want to increase my max health? I actually don't. Shoot, these are actually kind of expensive. I can raise my starting defense. That would be nice. All right, yeah, we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna spend my 6 experience to raise to 3. Cool. What's interesting is I showed you the hand on this deck, and let me switch cameras here. So you can see the hands that are, each time you cross a hand, you get a skill, but each one only works once. So even if I gained another 6 experience, I could not gain this skill again. I wish there was some way of indicating that, like a plug. I don't know. But yeah, it kind of encourages you to not spend your experience, because as you go up, you can get up to 4 skills, and that's pretty handy. So, yeah, so I'm good with what I did, because defense is really handy. Defense is what protects you in combat, obviously. It's basically hit point soak. So you take from your defense before you take from HP. HP never heals unless you do it at a rest. Defense heals every combat encounter. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy any action cards. Next is a combat. My combat is against another Parasitic Muncher. These guys are everywhere. Oh, they're weak against magic. So I'm going to spend my blind card, and then I'm going to cast this magic spell, which has a 2, so it's going to do 2 damage, but he has double damage from spells. So, boop. He did. I'm going to get 1 experience. And which one do I want to keep? Keep the spell. I'm going to keep like a nice mix of things, you know? All right, so the next on the token, the last thing is an event. Collect. A mysterious creature looks at you warily and then proceeds to cast a spell. Draw the collector. This is an ambush. All right, so that's what these cards are here. These are special cards. Oh, okay, that's his corrupted form. So, oh shit. Oh, this will be fun. So this is the collector. He's worth 4 experience, which is nice, but he has 10 hit points, no weaknesses. At the start of the encounter, exchange 2 action cards from your hand for the 2 bottom cards in the removed action cards pile. Now, I have not seen that indicator. Okay, here we go. So that, I guess he's a boss. Oh no, okay, so what that means is that he can be corrupted, but this is his non-corrupted form. So corrupted, if I was at a certain level of blight, I would fight his corrupted form, but I'm just fighting him normally. So we're going to get some actual combat here. So I get to go first. He has no weaknesses. At the start, I'm going to get rid of the cleanse. And I'm going to get rid of... Braveheart's not going to do me any good right now. So we're going to get rid of those and then take the bottom 2. Okay, and that's at the beginning of the encounter, not the whole thing. Okay, so I have to get up to 10 damage to him, so... Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use these 3 cards. First, I'm going to do this. 2 damage right off the bat by magic. Okay, cool. I guess I'll just tap it. Turn it sideways. Next, I'm going to use this melee weakness, which increases their melee vulnerability by 1. So there's a nice little token here. That's going to multiply it by 2. So he's going to take double damage to anything I do. Now that only does 1 damage because it specifically states this card is not affected. And then I'm going to do Mr. Double Hit. So it's going to hit twice for 2 damage. So that's an additional 4. So 4, I'm actually going to flip these. So now he's at 7 damage. All right. So boy, am I glad that I increased my defense, because all he's going to do is punch me. And that's going to take me down to 1 defense. So, not that one. These 3 cards are spent. And I get to keep 1. I'm going to keep this one. And then we refill. Oh, here's a combo. But that would kill him. Okay, so it says, in 1 turn, play cards in the below order to play this card, ignoring max attacks limit. So I don't, okay. Do I wanna? Yeah, okay. So this finishing combo, so I'm gonna use this combo. I'm thinking, this is how I'm interpreting it. So the card says, in 1 turn, play cards in the below order to play this card, ignoring the max attacks limit. I don't get that. Because, I mean, he's only got 3 hit points left, so... Oh, okay, so I think... Okay. No, okay, there's some order of operations stuff going on here. So he's got... I just need to do 3 hit points, so I'm gonna do these. So double damage, 1 each is 4 hit points, so he is dead. Put my tokens back here. He nets me a sweet 4 experience. Four, back on the 6, yay. I'm going to store combination, and we're going to refill. All right, so we are back on the scenario. So the question now is, which do I want to do? Blindly throw the dagger into the darkness behind, so I'm just going to chuck it and hope it hits somebody, or hide and wait for the enemy to pass and then attack. I think I'm going to hide. Dead men tell no tales. The moment you catch a glimpse, you leap out and run the enemy through with your sword. The man gurgles and falls hard. Clutching his wound, he looks up at you. His eyes grew bigger and he opens his mouth to say something. But the light in his eyes fades and he passes out before he can. He dies soon after. Spots form before your eyes, and in the darkness you can see shapes. Brothers, inquires a voice in the mists. It was they who betrayed me. They who cannot see clearly that they are just postponing the inevitable. The shadows begin to dissipate. Need more. Move on to another adventure token and resolve it. Once resolved, proceed to Scenario 5. Okie dokie. We're going to go ahead and just put 4A in there. And I'm not going to spoil what happens. Well, so I can either go event monster or event rest. I don't want to spend my stuff yet, so I am going to go here. Oh, shoot. What did I say? Event monster, right? It was event monster. If I go back and look at my recording and it's wrong, I will put notes on the screen. The event. The ground shakes as old walls start to cave in. Place impassable caved-in tokens on A5, B3, and C2. A5, B3. Ooh, thankfully it just missed me. If you are standing in a caved-in space, move to the nearest available token. Add Blight for resolved adventures. If any token blocks all possible paths to move forward, don't place it. Okay. Well, I guess I'm fine. All right, so monster time. Raised Swordbearer. Finally something new. No more of those plague things. 1 damage, 2 experience, 4 hit points. No weaknesses. Raise. When the raise... Okay, so he's got that same thing where I can roll to see if he comes back. Just a zombie swordsman. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Thankfully, I haven't really used it yet, but that icon is my character level. Okay, so attack potential. Increase the damage value of this attack by your level. So this would do 2 because I'm level 1. I'm just a wee babby. He has no weaknesses. So I'm just gonna tap tappity tap. Use this to boost, and that's 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So he did, and he's worth 2 experience. Yippee. So these cards are gone. And what am I going to keep? I'm going to keep the focus. I like that focus card. Well, that one's kind of cool. Sense. Increase damage dealt by this card to a single target by the number of blind cards in your hand. Okay. Death's Door. You may reduce your health by 4 points, to not deal and receive any more damage this turn. Okay, so if something was going to hit you harder than 4 points, that might be useful. I can see that. All right, so, well, we really can only go one place now. Oh, I was supposed to put the... Actually, I don't think that's what this is, but I'm going to put that for the boss anyway. So we have Monster and Rest. I still haven't completed my goal of 8 XP in 1 encounter. That bums me out. All right, Monster. Corrupted Spider. 2 damage, 2 experience, 6 health. Ooh, boy. And melee weakness. Oh, I do not like that at all. When the Corrupted Spider attacks, increase the melee vulnerability of the targeted player by 1 if they are undefended, which I'm not. I keep forgetting to move my defense up. So he'll hit me... After a couple of hits, he'll do some damage. So let's not get there. All right, so I have an attack potential. I have Cleanse. Oh, that could come in handy against him. We're going to go with the attack potential to do 2 damage. We'll just do that. Just use Death's Door for its attack to do 1 damage. And I don't see myself using this. So I'm going to use this for just 1 more damage. All right. So those cards are out. I get to store 1. I'm going to store... I'm going to store the Cleanse because he's not hurting me. All right. He does 2 damage. That comes out of my defense first. Any cool abilities? Nope, nothing we've seen. Oh, this one's cool. Draw an action card from the draw deck in your hand, so it's like replenishing your hand if you use it. I actually really like that one. So I'm just going to use this generic one to do 1 damage. These have 1 on one side and 5 on the other, so he's at 5. I'm going to keep that one, actually. I'm not doing a whole lot of finishing combos, so I'm going to spend that one to kill it with fire. Only by fire, I mean my sword. So 2 damage, or 2 experience. 2. And I can rest. I have 10. I'm about to fight the boss next. I have a choice. I can either go over to the side, get 1 more event, and then rest again. Or I can just go straight to the boss. I think I'm going to go straight to the boss. Do I want to spend my experience points, though? Like, what would I do? Oh, yes. Okay. So... Oh, no, I don't have the experience for that. Shoot. To raise my melee tier costs 14 experience. Ouch. I could raise my character level. Could raise my max health. That would be... Yeah, let's do that. Because I'm only going to play up to the boss, and then I'm done. I'm going to spend... So I'm not worried about conserving. I'm going to spend that. My max health is now 8. All right, boss boy. Kapow. So my first boss is a dude and his pet snake. This is Coleman, Lord of Flesh, and Varmus, Devourer of Flesh. So, oh look, they bond. They're friends. All right, so Coleman has 12 hit points, and Varmus has 16. Oh my god. So, hold up. There's a reward. I'm assuming that is after, but... yeah. After defeating a boss and its partner, if applicable, the player that defeated it draws a special action card and draws it to their hand. I don't think I'm going to get there. Alright, so... Varmus has an ability. Players cannot attack other enemies until at least 1 damage is dealt to Varmus. Coleman attacks twice. Ow! Coleman deals... oops, I forgot to raise my... deals damage directly to the target player's health, ignoring defense. Oh. Guys, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Holy Lord. Okay. So, I go first, and there's a combo that I can trigger. It says, in 1 turn, play cards in the below order. Spell, attack, melee spell. To play this card, ignoring max attacks limits. Okay. Let's do that. So I'm going to... and I can mix it up, so I'm going to do 1 damage to Varmus so that I can target Coleman, because he's the one I want really dead. I'm going to do this, which allows me to draw an extra card. So that's 1 damage to him. Pierce, increase damage dealt by this card to a single target by the number of same type of action cards in your hand. Okay, so these are still technically in my hand, I guess. I'm reading the order of operations. No, I don't think so. I don't think that works that way. Still, I have 3, so I'm going to raise that by 3. Plus 1. So that's 4 damage. And then I'm going to use this to combine with that and do 1 more damage. So Coleman is half dead. All right, so Coleman is going to, well, Coleman, Lord of Flesh, has the penetrate, and he does double hit. So 2 and 4. Man, am I glad I bumped up my hit points. All right, and then Varmus does 2 damage, but he doesn't have that special ability. Okay. So, oh, and I get to store 1. I'm going to store the focus. I'm not playing past this, so it doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. But already seeing how low this deck has gotten, I see why it is incredibly important to store cards. Wow. All right, so this is a combo card, but I can't use that. Ooh. Restore Faith. You may remove an action card from your hand to gain up to 4 health, up to max. Awesome. Let's do that. So I'm going to use this one. Starter. If this is the first card played this turn, it does not count towards your max attacks limits. Neat. Now the one on Varmus is not clear. It says, important target. Players cannot attack other enemies until at least 1 damage is done to Varmus. Is that the whole encounter, or is that per round? I'm going to take it as the whole encounter because it doesn't mention a round. So, all right, so we're going to do 1 to Coleman. That does not count. We're going to do 2, so that's 0. We're going to do 1 and remove this card to raise my health by 4. Shit, I should have done this one. 2, but it's Pierce, and I can raise by 1 more, so there's 2. So that's going to get us there. And lastly, I mean, he's got no weaknesses, so I'm just going to go ahead and cast the magic and do 1 damage. So he's hanging on by a thread. He's almost dead. All right. So they're doing their damage. He's going to do the 4 to me. He is going to go 1 there and 1 there. I am very, very close to dead. I don't... Oof, this is going to be really tough. Ooh. I got some good stuff here. Ooh, I got some really good stuff. All right. So I'm going to do, first, I'm going to use Swipe. Damage is dealt to 2 adjacent targets, so that's going to hit them both. That's going to hit him dead. Neato. All right, so I knocked the guy off the snake. Now I got to kill the snake. Improve. This turn, increase the tier of the next action card played by 1. It's already doing 2 damage to Mr. Snaky Snake. And that's going to raise this one to level 2, which still only does 2 damage. And oh, shoot, maybe I shouldn't do that. I should save that one. Can't use that. Let's just do this. All right, so 1 more damage. This one's going to be close. Unless I draw some kind of healing card, it's going to kill me next turn. So he hits me for 2 damage. He has 4 damage and has 16 hit points. I have to pull 12 damage out of my areas. And I don't think we're going to do that. Poop-a-doop. I think he's going to kill me. I really do. All right, so we're going to do 2 damage, and that's a improve. Oh, so he's got 4, 5, 6. All right. I still have to do 10 damage, and I can't soak that. Unless, because I don't think damage heals every round, does it? Nope. Nope. No. Okay, so yeah, this was really easy until it wasn't. Yeah, I can't generate 6 damage. All I can do is... there's 2 more damage. And then I can do a last word, which, if it's your last card, do an extra damage, so there's 2 more. But he still has 16 hit points, or still has 6 hit points left. And he's doing 2 damage to me, which takes me to 0, which means we have failed. I have died. That's very sad. But still, I'm actually going to cut to a different angle so that I can talk about it and my thoughts. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I had fun playing it. I think it's a pretty neat game. I'm looking forward to playing it again. I just need to get a little better at it, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah. Cool. Thank you guys for watching. Stick around. I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so that was my first blind playthrough, somewhat blind, of Ruins Deathbinder, and I liked it. It's an interesting game. I like the randomization of like the tokens on the board. You never know what kind of encounter stuff you're going to find. I worry about its longevity. The campaign thing is pretty cool. I like the campaign thing, but there's only so many monsters. There's only so many bosses. I have a feeling it's going to be the same thing over and over again. But maybe not. Maybe it'll be, you know, with the different enemies and different, what's the word I'm looking for? Different enemies in different orders, and I didn't get very far, so maybe it gets a whole lot cooler later on. But I mean, again, I liked it. I think this is a very cool game. I didn't like how hard that boss was. Like, that was the rest of, like, so far I had made it through completely scot-free, and, you know, no struggles, hadn't lost a single hit point, and then all of a sudden, boom, dead. And I didn't, maybe, and it could be me. It could be me. It could be that I didn't go through the right paths. Maybe I get that there's going to be a juggle of wanting to go through the dungeon as much as you can so that you can get the experience points to boost yourself up. Get that. But on the other hand, that deck went through real fast. That deck is supposed to, I think that the rules are not clear. That is my biggest problem with this game. But I think that deck is supposed to last you the entire game. So I'm trying to have a work shirt on. I don't like logos. I don't know. The rule book was really my biggest complaint to this. It's really not clear. It's not labeled very well. It is very, very evident that it was done by an independent studio that has never made a game before, which, as far as I know, is true. Which I will say, for the most part, let me look up Heavy Punch Games. As far as I know, the creator has never made a game before. If he has, I've never heard of it. But if that is true, kudos to them. This is a fantastic first game. Let's see, Ruins Deathbinder. But the rule book is really badly laid out, and it's also very, very evident that it's translated into English. This is Marek Vogelsinger's only game. So for a first game, awesome. Well done. Still got some bugs. Mostly in the rules. The rules that are very not clear about a lot of things. There are symbols that are not explained. There are flow of the game that are poorly explained. They're not explained, but poorly explained. I like the events. I think the events are cool. Those can definitely... you've got a pretty nice stack here of events, so those can definitely keep things going. I like the cave-in. That was kind of cool, like blocking my way. That made it feel like an actual exploration, like I'm going through these tunnels and all of a sudden, no, what happened? The skills, I have not looked, I don't like spoiling things too much, so I haven't looked through the skill deck, but I did not like that skill that I got. I'm like, I would never use this. I guess I could see it being handy in an emergency. It was basically a get out of jail free card, or out of combat free. But in a game where experience is so important, I mean, I guess I would only use it if I was going to die. What else? The Blinded are cool. They're just like a wound and legendary deck builder. Yeah. That boss was so much harder than anything that I've encountered in that dungeon. So I'm like, maybe I needed to go through and gain more experience though. So I'll reserve judgment on that until I've played a couple rounds. What else? It was quick. Real quick. I mean, I don't know how long that video was. What time is it? I played for maybe an hour and got all the way through one dungeon. That's pretty quick. Resolution was fast. I liked that. I like the story. The scenario, that was a really nice touch. It wasn't, I mean, I only got 4 scenarios in, but it added just enough story and flavor to make me like, what's going to happen next? There's a man in the dark. What do I do? You know? Yeah. So I'm very happy with this game. I think I need to play it a little bit more, get a better feel for it. I want to hammer out like some of the rules problems that I had, but I could see this being a really fun. Its setup is super quick. I saw how many cards there were, and I was like, because one of my biggest problems, we're in a pandemic right now. Right now, it is February 2021. We are a year into this stupid pandemic, and I can't really game with many other people. I have, a little bubble of people I trust, and that is very, very, very small. Solo games are my bread and butter right now. And I gotta be honest, if a solo game has too much setup, I'm not going to play it. It breaks my heart that one of my favorite games is just too much setup for me anymore. Marvel Legendary. I love Marvel Legendary. I have a whole suitcase full of it. But it just got so old because, I mean, even with one of the randomizer apps telling you what to draw, you got to shuffle so many decks and get all the cards and lay them out, and then you play the game, and then you have to separate the decks and put them back. It is, of the time that you are playing Marvel Legendary, 2/3 of it is set up and tear down. I would say more. This game was not like that. This, here's your decks, boom, 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 you're done. Shuffle them if you want. Cool. That was pain-free. I liked that a lot. Component quality, awesome. Really liked that. The tokens are nice. They're very well cut. They're very, the cardboard's pretty heavy duty. The mat sits flat. There's no warping so far. I do live in Florida. We'll see how the humidity does. The insert works. The tokens, I like the the dual layer board. The tokens fit in very nicely. Yeah, overall, I'm happy with this game. I like it a lot. So I'll play it a few more times and I guess give my final thoughts in another video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This is my first time actually playing through a game while recording. So I hope I did okay. I'm more than open to feedback right now. Please do put it in the comments below. Like, hey, you could have sped this up. You could have slowed this down. You could have done this right. Or the good stuff. Hey, I think I really liked how you did this. I'm down to do this more. People seem to like the long play videos. When I was doing the Cranky Old Gamer, I tried to keep my videos short, and people like the long ones. That surprised me. So yeah, if you have any questions about the game that I can answer, please ask below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys again soon with another video. Bye.